Life's unexpected expenses can be a headache, but Liquid Loans, the sponsor of the Zone 5 podcast, offers a quick and simple solution. Need a financial lifeline? Check out Liquid Loans and see how they can help you tackle those surprises with ease. A quick visit to their website could be the fix you're looking for. Hey guys, welcome to Zone 5. That was almost 15. Pulsechain podcast. Guys, as always, I am super excited to talk Pulsechain. We got a really good guest on today. I'm going to get to some really cool stuff that's going on there. We got some really interesting kind of topical stuff that happened recently on X around Pulsechain. And first, I got to welcome all of our regular co-hosts on the show, along with me, of course, Big Boy Crypto. I am here joined by the most lovely, the most elite, the most exclusive of all, the most elite of all duchesses, the Duchess of DeFi, Cassie Wolf, ladies and gentlemen.
No, thank you so much, Ben.
Okay. How are you doing today? You doing good?
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. Well, from beauty to brawn, we now bring in really the muscle that gets this show going. Corey Costa. This man can bench 400 pounds, and he can carry Pulsechain on his back. Corey, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I thought those very nice. It's great to be here as always.
Yes, absolutely. And special thanks to our show sponsor, liquidloans.io. You guys can check them out at liquidloans.io. You guys are going to get to see a lot of fun commercials from them, and we'll talk about them here in a little bit later. But I do want to go ahead and bring on our guest, KG from Internet Money. Guy who's been in this community for a while, is built on the community or built on the chain. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me today. It's an honor to be here. Absolutely.
And so, KG, kind of the thing is, when we first get this show started here, we're going to get into who you are and what you do and what your, Internet Money, what this is. I think it's really cool. We're going to get into on the back half of the show. We're going to spend the first half of the show here just kind of talking about what's going on. And something that's been going on in the Pulsechain community that I've seen is one of the guys who's kind of like me, kind of came into the Pulsechain community from the outside a little bit, CryptoFace. He made some waves with a tweet, and I thought this would be the perfect thing to bring up with you because we get into your product a little bit later. I think you probably understand a lot of the way that these chains operate. He had a huge time trying to, I think, off-ramp his Pulsechain ETH, his P-ETH, I guess they call it. And I'm going to read the tweet here. I'm going to go ahead and actually show this here. Okay, guys, so here's the post here from CryptoFace, at Real CryptoFace 1. Figuring out how to bridge my WETH that's wrapped Ethereum from Pulsechain back to normal ETH is a freaking nightmare. How does anyone expect this ish to go mainstream adoption when you got to try to go through this garbage? Now, before we start getting into maybe what he could have done, if we go up a little bit more, you will see that he did say right here, I have finally figured out how to bridge off my wrapped ETH to normal ETH from Pulsechain. I owe it all to Somi and tokensx.link. That's weird. Tokensx.link. Somi, we got to get when are we having Somi on the show?
I tried to message him and he said, I'll put you on the whitelist.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so he's waiting for Daddy to come. Okay. Daddy will come talk to him. Okay, Somi. Daddy
Maybe you should. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It says Pulsechain website simply just wouldn't work for me. I tried it all, pop-up blockers and everything wouldn't connect, but the site made it 100x easier and everything worked. Yay, there's Tokens Express, the bridge to Pulsechain. So now that we have taken a look at that there, let's discuss that, KG. I want to know from your perspective. I mean, I've also done that. I remember the first time I tried to use Pulsechain, I was taking some Bitcoin, I believe it was, that was on the Pulsechain network. It was just sitting there. That was free money. And I think it was as all this stuff was going on in the beginning in August. And I was like, I needed some money. And so I got rid of the Pulsechain version. It was the V1. It wasn't in the coin anymore. And it was very difficult. And I tell you, even more difficult than trying to bridge it was trying to figure out that block explorer. That was difficult. We talked about that on a previous show. But KG, I want to know, what would your advice been to CryptoFace, and what do you think that problem he was really looking at? Like, what is the problem with bridging Ethereum and Pulsechain?
Well, my answer is obviously going to sound a little biased, but it is a completely true statement. So I'm the founder of Internet Money Wallet, and it is the only wallet in existence that's actually optimized for Pulsechain. Mm-hmm. So he was probably using MetaMask or Rabby, which are other big options in the Pulsechain ecosystem. But the issue with those wallets is they support Pulsechain, but they're not optimized for Pulsechain. Pulsechain can be a little quirky. When the fork occurred, it 1.2 million x'd the amount of ETH in existence. In layman's terms, it made the numbers much larger that wallets have to operate with. And so our wallet is uniquely constructed to handle those situations. So I don't know exactly what his issue was, but we often find that when people try internet money, it just works where MetaMask or Rabby fails on Pulsechain.
I think and I agree. I love internet money. I've had KG on my channel ever since the beginning. I think the big problem that Pulsechain has faced is the pure decentralization side of Pulsechain, where people have to use a bridge, and a bridge can be very intimidating to even the most veteran of users. You have to sell something into wrapped ETH and then bridge that back, and then you got to use an IPFS link, and then or if you don't want to use the IPFS link, you have to download it locally to your computer. I mean, that's why I feel like there's this butting of heads in the ecosystem right now on whether or not it's a good idea for Pulsechain to get listed on MEXC. Now I know MEXC, MEXC.
We can call it, just so you know, Corey. I'm going to go ahead and help you out here. It's called MEXC.
MEXC, you call it MEXC? Okay.
Well, MEXC. Right. You can think about it because remember, I told you how to pronounce it, and then remember, I'm sexy, so just remember sexy Mexi.
All right, so we'll call it Mexi. So there's a decent amount of individuals trying to get Pulsechain listed on Mexi because it's a more seamless way sometimes to go through centralized exchanges. It's easier. People get more acclimated to using sex exchanges. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong way. It just is what it is. So I think that right now a big pushback for people outside the community that haven't acquainted themselves to these bridges, because there are a few. For Pulsechain, it's an intimidation factor, and especially if you don't know how to bridge back, I mean, it's you feel trapped, and I think that's a problem that this community faces moving forward.
I wonder on that. So in doing research for Bencoin, I was talking to a developer who had a decentralized exchange app, and I still use centralized exchanges, and it's typically for that. It's selling Ethereum, going to Phantom, or going somewhere else, right? I tend to stay away from bridges altogether.
I mean, well, one thing is, I mean, bridges are the #1 attack point.
Right. There's a security risk. But I was talking to a developer, and he was explaining to me that they had a product that was decentralized, and you could swap coins from different chains, the native coins. That would be potentially a great option for Pulsechain.
That is something that you guys are hitting all on good points. It is very complex to get in and out of Pulsechain. Whatever wallet you're using, the process is complicated. So things like cross-chain swapping, things like centralized exchanges, yeah, we can have qualms with them, but they do make the onboarding process easier. Like I just recently figured out that you can onboard fiat in and out of Venmo. So Venmo is actually the centralized exchange that I've been using, helping people get onto, using to help people get onto Pulsechain, because they don't have to go through another process of like, convincing them that Coinbase is safe, even though, safe, I put that in quotes because, use centralized exchanges like bathrooms, get in, do your business, get out.
Yeah.
But Coinbase is the Apple of crypto in some ways. Anyways, but they already trust Venmo. They're already onboarded into Venmo. It's like 3 extra seconds. I have them onboard to ETH, and then I walk them through bridging to Pulsechain. So that seems to be the easiest way to get in, but you guys are ultimately hitting the nail right on the head. Is it's not easy, and to get mass adoption, it's got to be easier, and that's true for all of crypto.
Yeah. Well, I think we've been looking at mass adoption maybe a little bit wrong too. I think that we've been all focused on us, the famous meme, when it's crypto mainstream. Well, everybody has the answer to that question. When you can buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin. When you buy a cup of coffee, like how are we doing? Buy a cup of coffee with crypto. That's why you know what options are. Why is it always coffee? I don't understand. Why can't I need to go get my preparation H wipes? Got some hemorrhoids. You want to buy it with Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying?
Fair point.
Because my ass is chapped from the price going down, obviously. Everyone knows.
There you go.
That's very clear. But crypto adoption really, I think, we thought it was going to be starting with us going up. But what we've seen is we've been around here effing around for years, and crypto adoption is kind of like, what's it going to do? And now traditional finance has come in and said, hey, guys, we just adopted it. Now it's adopted. And now we're looking at kind of a complex infrastructure for all kinds of different scenarios. But one of these is there is a future that exists in the world, dystopian, whatever future exists in the world. Maybe it's not dystopian. Maybe it's fine, where we're all using different currencies, where there isn't one standard-based currency, because that standard-based currency, it's either Bitcoin, it's the world CBDC that they're being worked on, or it's going to be, basically tons of other, just fragmentation, just tons of different projects, coins everywhere that everybody's using. Like, you almost use it's like a gift card. You go to Walmart, use your Walmart gift card. You go to Target, use your Target gift card. You go to Amazon, you buy big weight range stuff, you're still using your Amazon gift card. That's kind of how I see, things looking in the future. And, I think it's definitely very interesting.
Yeah, I do believe that the future will be multi-chain.
I absolutely agree.
In today's market, keeping investments safe is a top priority. Thanks to Liquid Loans, the sponsor of the Zone 5 podcast, there's a smart way to protect and grow your assets. Their platform offers a stable shield against market volatility. Interested in transforming your financial landscape? Visit liquidloans.io and find out how to make your assets work harder for you. It's a strategy worth exploring.
I wanted to ask KG a question, and his perspective is, we've seen many layer one blockchains becoming interconnected through various dApps, through various protocols, integrations into cross-chain swap paradigms. How is Pulsechain, if I were to ask you, in your opinion, being a project founder on Pulsechain, how is Pulsechain being connected to various other layer ones so it's not isolated from this paradigm that Cassie highlighted, that the future is multi-chain?
Bridging wallets and projects that are building communities on multiple chains. And right now, we support all chains, all EVM chains rather, but we have our smart contracts launched on Ethereum, Pulsechain, Binance Smart Chain, and Polygon. So even though Pulsechain is our home base, we're building social or philosophical bridges outside of technical bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's those two things: physical bridges, centralized exchanges, and teams building on multiple chains.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, to me, I think that a few places I really like for kind of bridging and doing assets back and forth. One is Exodus Wallet. Now, look, I'm not saying you can do this with Hex Pulsechain there. But what I'm saying is I love the way the Exodus Wallet, and this is not a shill for them. I don't have anything sponsored by them. I just used it. It's easy to swap ETH to ETH. So if you want to take Coinbase ETH and you want to swap it over to Binance Chain, Smart Chain ETH, or Ethereum ETH,
Mm-hmm.
or Arbitrum ETH, you can do it right there, and it solves the bridge problem. It's right there in your wallet. You don't have to do it. So I think that to me is kind of the future, because like Uniswap doesn't have a bridge. I mean, you're not over there being able to bridge. You want to bridge where you're at. You don't have to go to a separate bridge and then take your assets and go somewhere else. So, I think it's definitely very interesting where all this tech is going, and things are moving very quickly. Now, I wanted to take a moment here and say thank you to our sponsor, liquidloans.io. My gosh, Liquid Loans, man, I tell you, I sure am moist right now. That's right. Why am I moist? Well, I'm moist from all the sweat on my brow, from dragging my giant bags with all my gains I made with the tokens I was able to get out from liquidloans.io and still save my crypto. It's amazing. That's why I'm moist, guys. And you can all do all that on liquidloans.io. So Corey's always got some nice things to say about our friends at liquidloans.io.
Liquid Loans was one of the first projects, I ever interviewed on Pulsechain. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just very close friends with them. So I like Liquid Loans because, first of all, I say this a lot, that they are the highest TVL project on Pulsechain outside of the RH tickers. And I think it's very valuable, especially when you're looking at, when you're looking at the comparisons between Pulsechain and other layer ones in regards to TVL. That plays a vital role in, I think, the notion of what's being adopted from a monetary standpoint. I mean, how much capital is being allocated through this TVL model. And also, not to mention, it's a decentralized lending protocol on Pulsechain. So it actually creates a DeFi platform for a decentralized chain.
Amazing. Thank you. Liquidloans.io.
So KG, I wanted to also ask you about, like you said, you're a project developer. I've always had you on my channel for over the last almost, I think it's more than 2 years now that I've had you on my channel, at least 5-6 times. you've created internet money, and on the side, and also you've created the Pulsechain Builders Guild to amalgamate different project founders. What is that, and how does it play a role in cooperation between internet money and Pulsechain? And also, can you show your product, internet money, to us?
Sure. I have my screen shared here. As far as the Builders Guild, that is a really cool initiative on Pulsechain where I actually got some inspiration from Gnosis Chain. If you guys are familiar with that, they have a Builders Guild as well. And basically, we created it as a place where the various teams that are building on Pulsechain work together. We share resources. We do our best to support each other, and actually as a place for when new projects want to come over and build on Pulsechain. Any technical question they have, there's someone in the group that can answer it. It doesn't matter what it is. There's someone, and there's so much intelligence and brain power in there. So
now, who are there any? I don't know, like any of the smartest members in there, like anybody in there that maybe that's like really super intelligent and really good looking, and might also be in that group. You might actually see some things going on there.
Yeah, it kind of rhymes with Mexi.
Oh, I see. I see.
He's often moist.
Well, that's really cool stuff. I have in that Builders Guild in the Telegram group, man. There's some really good stuff going on there. And the interesting thing is it's not that big of a group. It's not that big of a group, but it's all people that are important and are doing big stuff in there. It's not, it's not just people just joining to join. You have to be invited. You can't just kind of show up there, I don't think. So really cool stuff. So
if there's anything you want me to touch on specifically, but right now this is the Chrome extension, but we are available on Android and iOS apps as well. And we're actually working on making this, full screen, but we've been around for about 1.5 years. MetaMask has about 6 years on us. So,
yeah.
It takes time, takes iterations. But whenever somebody downloads the wallet, this is what they'll be presented with minus money in their account. And you can see that you're natively connected to Pulsechain, whereas MetaMask is natively connected to Ethereum.
Correct.
But if you click on the networks, we preload several networks. You can add custom networks. And we're actually about to go through a big ad here as well. Another cool thing that our wallet does that other wallets don't do is we actually have price tracking for all assets on 72 different chains. So the moment a token has a price, it has a price in the wallet, further removing reliance on centralized services like CoinGecko and begging them to list your coin, or you can, either have connections or you fake your volume and all that. But
I saw Cassie shooting me the DJ eyes. She shot me the DJ eyes. She said, "Oh God, I can get in there and know these coins' prices at the beginning."
You absolutely can.
Nice.
Within 5 minutes of it having a price, there's nothing you have to do. It's just going to show up here.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great. I bought a coin a couple days ago, and originally you could see the price, but now the price has disappeared. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, I've got in my YouTube master sheet where I'm keeping all the YouTubers' picks and their data on who's actually making good picks and who's not. Or I mean, look, it doesn't mean they're just bad people. They just not good at picking crypto. And I noticed that a lot of the coins, I have a script in there that pulls the active current published price and puts it in there automatically on these spreadsheets. And a bunch of those coins, 4 or 5 of them, 4 or 5 of the coins on the top coins list. Now, I think 4 of them were Crypto Banner, but they love picking those rug pulls. But no, in all seriousness, it was Crypto Banner 4 out of the 5. But they did disappear. So
I won't comment on that one. So something else that is really innovative and cool about what we do. So you saw how on Pulsechain, Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon, we actually support in-app swapping. It's not cross-chain yet. That's something we're taking on soon. But for Pulsechain specifically, our wallet is actually the best place to swap, which people might think, I'll just go directly to a DEX. Well, then the question has to be asked, well, what DEX are you going to go to? We aggregate 15 different liquidity sources in the wallet with a single button. And then you as a user just pick the highest yielding swap of the place you want to swap. And another cool thing is, whereas all wallets charge a fee when you do the in-app swap, one unique thing, and we actually invented this model, we're working on an EIP for my Ethereum EIP nerds, is 100% of the revenue that is generated from the in-app swap is actually generated to the holders of our token. So it is, we call it a dividend model. So SEC, if you're watching, it's colloquial. It's just cool language. Okay. No promises or anything like that. but it's a dividend model. So as we grow and more volume comes through our swap, more dividends are generated. So another thing that we were talking about earlier is simplicity, right? Well, something we do is when you click add token, each chain has different popular tokens preloaded. So people don't have to worry about contract addresses or anything. It's just already loaded in there. Now, if your token isn't here, you can obviously import custom tokens, but on Pulsechain, this is the most comprehensive list. And on other chains where there's a lot more tokens. So it's a lot harder to keep up there, but we're working on solutions. So
well, it's interesting to me. I mean, you're tackling some real actual issues that people have with MetaMask that they don't talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't see people talking about these issues, but every one of us who use it knows we experience all these issues every single time. I mean, trying to add a chain. I mean, luckily they've made it at least for the custom tokens where once you put in the contract address, it at least populates the other stuff. But I mean, it's like, I remember, let me tell you guys, I remember the first time I tried bridging and using another network and all that stuff. It was a project called, I cannot remember the name of the project. It's probably good because it's probably dead now. But basically what it was is, had to bridge it over to this different network. And then you get lost because you got to figure out a way to bridge that Ethereum over to this kind of empty network. Doesn't have anything over there, really, just a few little things.
Right.
I'm talking about when they first come out. And you got to bridge over when they're test nets and stuff. And you got to look up and find where you have all the RPCs and all that stuff. It's just like, guys, we've been doing this for a long enough time. We should have easier ways to do this.
I agree 100%. And we're constantly taking steps to make it easier. One metric of success that I actually use is my mom. I'm still having a hard time convincing her Bitcoin's not a scam. Yeah. And so whenever we build things, I ask my mom, do you understand this? Is this easy for you? You think it's a scam? That's fine. Do you get what's happening here? And so we want to make tools that are relevant for expert users, but we also want it to be basically universally applicable, where if it's your first day or you've been here since you were mining 50 Bitcoin blocks on your laptop, you can get what we're doing and we can have relevance in your life.
Yeah.
Right. Your needs are met.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or I mean, even if you go all the way back to 1996 and you're in the NSA and you created cryptocurrency back then, even
exactly. Even if you're the CIA who invented Bitcoin, it's fine.
Obviously. Yeah. Everybody knows that. So it was either him or, another person people don't talk about a lot that could, I know people say Richard, maybe, people say Corey Costa, maybe, people say all kinds of people. You never hear him say Pee Wee Herman or Richard Simmons. Pee Wee Herman, Richard Simmons, maybe these guys could have created Bitcoin. Paul Rubens just died recently. I mean, Pee Wee's big top. Anybody could be Satoshi is what I'm trying to tell you guys.
We're all Satoshi.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
It just spawned out of our subconscious mind. Bitcoin just existed.
Amazing. It really is. Well, what's interesting is, that paper that was wrote about that first, the NSA paper, it was by this thing called Armstrong Economics, not related to me. And I was talking about on the show how then, the creator of the Bitcoin logo's name is BitBoy. Nobody knows who he is. And it wasn't me. So, I don't know, guys. Maybe I created Bitcoin. I'm just saying. I will see you at my house, IRS, at 5 p.m. Bring the SEC with you.
Hey, well, we know for sure one person who isn't Satoshi.
Who's that?
Craig Wright.
Craig Wright.
Craig Wright.
He's got me blocked.
It's absolutely not Satoshi. Well, I did this thing today where I was ranking the top 100 coins. I was put them on a tier, like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier. Bitcoin is C tier because it's the Mendoza line. Anything higher than C tier, good investment. Anything lower than Bitcoin, why would you put money into it? It doesn't make any sense. Not very many F tier, right? Because they're scams. So Bitcoin SV, pretty much one of the only ones. Bitcoin SV is an absolute pump scam from a guy who pretends to be Satoshi, and court has said over and over again he's not Satoshi. And guys, do you think he believes it at this point?
Yes.
I actually thought about this. What if in some parallel dimension he actually was Satoshi and he woke up in this reality and is like, no, I am Satoshi, guys, I promise. And he's just so confused, actually thinks it's real.
This is a horror movie. This is a horror movie. You woke up on the wrong planet.
Exactly. Exactly.
We have got to help this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that we're the only people,
Multiverse of Bitcoin.
now that we're the only people that know the truth, that Craig Wright actually is Satoshi in a different web of the Spider-Verse. It is
Exactly.
time for us to come together and to, send him back to his planet.
It's our sovereign duty. We must.
we gotta
Craig Wright.
get Craig back to his planet, okay? He doesn't get to stay here and get credit. Craig, you gotta go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're looking for we're looking for our Earth, Satoshi, buddy.
Yeah. So Liquid Loans is the first truly decentralized lending protocol built specifically for Pulsechain. Fully backed stablecoin, low 100% collateral ratio, no repayment schedule, immutable, governance free, no admin keys. Visit liquidloans.io to learn more or to watch videos to find out how it works. Well, all right. Well, guys, we're winding down here. We only got a few minutes left on the old epi here. Any more questions, Cassie? Corey Costa, you guys got any more things you want to ask our esteemed guest here with the wonderful beard?
There was one thing that you think is missing from Pulsechain as a builder. What do you think's missing?
Time. As silly and abstract as that may be, it's a new product. It's a new project. How long has Ethereum been around and Bitcoin been around and Binance been around? It just takes time to build things, and there's a lot of outside scrutiny and legal things that are suppressing us, which SEC ultimate rug pullers, thank you for hurting all of our bags. You are the real criminal. It just needs time to get through this and grow. And I think that's really it.
I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And I think the only thing more amazing than that will be me saying goodbye to the show. And also remembering to thank our guests here. Of course, KG from Internet Money. You guys check him out. KG, tell them where they can find you real quick.
All official links, internetmoney.io. It'll lead you everywhere else you need to go.
Boom. I got to tell you, it's an impressive product. I'm going to look into it. It looks pretty cool. I like the chain thing for sure. So, but Corey, thank you as well for joining us. Duchess of DeFi on behalf of my lovely lady over here. Like I say, thank you to everybody for watching the Zone 5 podcast. Make sure you guys come back every Saturday and Sunday night. We got a new episode for you guys. We're going to continue to talk about the Pulsechain community. We think it's important. We think they did a good job at onboarding their people into DeFi, into crypto. And it's a great example. We want to have more projects that are doing that. And so thank you, everybody. Thank you to our special sponsor, liquidloans.io. Remember, you can go back earlier in the show and find out why that made me moist. Okay, guys. Zone 5. Boy out.
Stay moist.
Ever felt overwhelmed by your finances? Let me share a secret from our friends at Liquid Loans, the proud sponsors of the Zone 5 podcast. They've created a platform that turns financial chaos into clarity. Secure, quick, and simple. Liquid Loans is all about unlocking your financial freedom. Want to know more? Dive into their website and discover how you can achieve financial peace of mind. Your journey to freedom starts now. liquidloans.io.